Nirmala, hello. Moved from Maryland to Vista. Where in Maryland were you? Because I grew up in Silver Spring. My first 16 years before I moved to Colorado. California, that's like... You went all the way to the other side, didn't you? Oh, Germantown. Yeah. I know that place pretty well. Well, I did when I lived out there a long, long time ago. El Raj, hello. How's it going? How's everybody doing tonight? We're just gonna chat for a bit, see if any other people come on the stream. Oh. Oh. Good. Oi. So where is everybody from? Let me know where you're from. Avi. Date canceled, movie playing canceled, was born AF. No problem, bro. Yes, my grandparents did live in Germantown. That's right, I remember that. Uday, you live in Wakanda? Wakanda forever. They got some cool tech. I wouldn't mind living there myself. I want to play with all the toys. Akshay, hello. El Raj is from India, Tamil Nadu. They may fight with spears, but they're very, very good at it. And they got all kinds of tech stuff. Great review with my brother. Ah, yeah. That was a fun review. Kind of a spur of the moment thing. We didn't get much sleep that night, but it was worth it. Missing out on a lot of cool trailers because you won't see them do the whacked out connection. At least check these off stream. Yeah, I watch them. I'm just not going to promote them. So I watch the trailers. I just don't promote the movies because of whacked out media. So I don't do reviews on them, or I don't post about them. But if I can get a chance to see the movie, I'll review it just like I would any other movie. When am I going to get caught up with Sacred Games? Well, I'm going to be reviewing the episodes. And so I want to review, or I want to talk about an episode after I see it, but before I see the other episodes. So I'm not going to binge the whole season and then review each episode. I'm going to review them as I go along. And I saw the first episode. I just haven't had time to review it yet. But I got all my notes ready to go. I was going to do it tonight, but then last night I decided I needed to do a stream and catch up on some trailers, so I might do it tomorrow night. I don't know, but I got a 12-hour day tomorrow, so we'll see how I feel when I get home. But I did see the first episode. Very ballsy. I liked it. Eating stuffed peppers for dinner. Yum. I had some eggs with veggies and little basil olive oil. Sacred Games is blowing everyone's mind because it's very different from the normal Indian content. I can see that. I can totally see that. You know, it's like, where did this come from? But they've got Netflix money behind them, so they're not hindered by... See, the thing about like Netflix and Amazon and stuff like that is they don't have to worry about box office openings. They don't need to make their money back in the first weekend, or at least 30 to 50% of their money back in the first weekend, because Netflix doesn't make money based off of a box office. So the creators have more freedom to do whatever they want, and they don't have to worry about any kind of repercussions from the box office, or worry about whether or not it's family friendly enough to get enough people to the theater. They can do whatever they want. So on that aspect, I really like Netflix shows, because they give the filmmakers, you know, free reign to do anything. It really opens the doors and doesn't limit anybody. Nawazuddin is a gem. And both the directors. And Saif. Hey, Denver Johnson. For those of you that don't know Denver Johnson, he's been a supporter of the channel since the beginning. Like, way back in the day. Way back in the day. Yes, I am going to be reacting on this stream. I've got all of the trailers in the description below that I'll be reacting to, based off of requests and comments that I've gotten. He's really worked on his acting. Well, I haven't seen any of his... I may have seen some of his trailers, but I don't think I've seen any of his movies. Yeah, long time no see, Denver. Been a while since you've been on a stream. It's cool to see you on the stream. Sorry, El Raj, I can't do the 96 teaser because it's on the Think Music India YouTube channel, and they're a part of the Whacked Out Media MCN, which Whacked Out Media likes to hand out strikes and blocks. So I don't promote any of their movies. Goa Gone. Okay, that's where I recognize him from. Whereas it's been almost 2 years since I've seen Goa Gone. Been a while. Yeah, that's Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon. They allow for more creativity. Yeah, Dad loved Agent Vinod. I never got to Agent Vinod, but Dad loved it. You're indirectly promoting Whacked Out Media by mentioning them in every video. Well, I don't know, I guess. I mean, any press is good press, right? But if anything, I see it as shedding a light on an MCN that is against reactors. The ones I'm going to be reacting to are in the description. You can check them out down below. He was used to certain roles. So was he getting like typecast and stuff? They are definitely whacked out. Ah, I see what you did there, Denver. Yeah, Jabby got 2 strikes from 2 different places. Neither one of them was associated with Whacked Out Media, but he pulled his connections and I guess was able to... He disputed them, of course, and I think I saw somewhere on Twitter that they went away, so they got fixed. You should watch Agent Vinod. Yeah, I mean, Denver sent it to me. Can I give you a weekly movie schedule of what you're going to watch? Not really, just because it's all dependent on time. And if I give a schedule of what I'm going to watch and then I can't because of work or something else, then, you know, I miss the schedule. I don't have the time to make a schedule. I would love to. He used to do funny or rich brat roles. Ah, well, this is very much of a departure from that. Yeah, I think I reacted to Kolamavu. What was it? Have you been watching 810 and Shakti India? The ones that you sent me? No, I need to watch Dawn first. And I got halfway through it and then I got called into work. So I need to get through Dawn and Jigartanda. I need to get through those 2. But the list, the movie review list, is in the description of every video. I did not do Komavu Kokil Lila last week. I don't think I've done that one. Yeah, I do need more reviews. I need more reviews on both channels. Can't wait for Saho and Fantastic Beasts in October. Yeah, I'm a little worried about Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, but he has the ability to do a good job. He's just been a bit crazy the past few years. I don't know if he'll pull off a good job. So I got my fingers crossed. I'm hoping. Saho, I hear a lot of good things. So hopefully that will be really good too. What do I think about the new Predator movie? I love the fact that Shane Black is directing it. I like him. The Nice Guys was a great movie. He was actually in the original Predator movie as an actor. He played the guy with the glasses that got killed. So I like that. I like that kind of full circle, that he was in the first Predator and now he's directing a Predator. As a director, I think he's really good, and he would be good with characters. There's a lot of characters in the movie. I don't know how I feel about the whole evolved Predator thing, because that was never touched on. Why are they going from planet to planet to improve themselves biologically? they would have done that in one of the previous movies. I don't know. I'd have to see how they do that in the film. But it kind of feels like, you know, Jason X or, you know, one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, you know, where it can get cheesy. And I don't want it to be cheesy. I don't know. Let's check and see if that one is in the MC, the Whacked Out Media one. Let's search it. No, that one is under Leica, and I can do that. But I already have 6 that I'm doing today. If we have time at the end, maybe I'll put it in there. Raman Raghav was a great review. Well, thank you. Yeah, if we get through these 6 and I'm not falling asleep, then maybe we'll do it, but we'll see. AJ Rosshan, how's it going, bro? Hope you're doing good. Thank you. Yeah, my channel has been doing pretty well recently. Been getting a lot more attention from you know, the filmmakers and actors and production companies than I'm expecting. It's been a bit crazy. Like when I did my Zero teaser 2 reaction, and then Red Chili's visual effects department and the color grading department both retweeted my reaction, and the Red Chili's VFX saying that, you know, my analysis of the teaser is proving to them that they're on the right track. I was like, what? And at first I thought, oh, they're just highlighting YouTubers, but I was the only one they retweeted. That was pretty crazy. And then they started following me on Twitter. Red Chili's started following me, the different departments. I'm a simple man. I hear Johnny Depp, I buy a ticket. Fair enough. Johnny Depp nails almost all his roles. Yes, but in the past, I would say 5 or 6 years, he's been not as good. I loved his older movies. It is going to be nice to see him doing something other than Pirates of the Caribbean, even though I did love the first 2 or 3, I think it was. Was the movie great? Which movie? Any collabs on the horizon? Maybe. There's one that is planned, but I'm not going to announce it because if it doesn't happen, then what's the point in announcing it? But we have a planned one, so we will see. Twist in the end was spectacular. Hello! Thank you for the Sunday. Well, it's Saturday night for me. Red Chili's VFX? Yeah. If you go to Twitter, you can see the tweets that they posted about my reaction. SRK doesn't own it. He's a co-founder. There's 3 founders of Red Chili's, and he was one of the co-founders. Arvid, how's it going? Good morning for you, good evening for me. Sorry, I can't do the 96 teaser because it's under the Whacked Out Media MCN. And they like to hand out copyright stuff. Blocks and strikes. They gave me a strike. Oh, Secret Window. Yeah. Have you seen the original Secret Window? Because Secret Window was... Oh, no. I was thinking of a different movie. Yes. I did like Secret Window. That was a good movie. I liked Nick of Time. That was one of those rare movies that was filmed in, well, it was filmed to take place in real time, you know, way before that show 24 was out. There was another, you know, it's based off of Hitchcockian, because Hitchcock did that for the, I think it was like the last half or the last 20 minutes of one of his movies was all done to take place in real time. Christopher Walken always steals the show. What Funko Pops do I have behind me? This one is Godzilla. I got the Widowmaker over there from Overwatch. There's a couple more behind the TV. That Guardians of the Galaxy, though, is it's not Pop, it's another one. Porbs or something like that. All of them came with like Loot Crate or Geek Fuel. Back when I used to have Geek Fuel. Am I going to watch Sacred Games? Yes, I am. I actually saw the first episode. I just haven't been able to review it yet. I'm going to be reviewing each episode as I watch them. Yeah, Jabby Koi got 2 strikes. If you get 3 strikes, your channel goes down. So he was worried about getting a 3rd strike. He disputed both of them and they dropped the strikes. Whacked Out Media did not do that for me. So I have a strike on my channel from almost 2 years ago from them. Year and a half. Hey Ravinder, how's it going? Yeah, I'm going to review each episode of Sacred Games. Saw the first episode. Was going to review it tonight, but I wanted to do this live stream because I had some trailers to catch up on, and then I will review that first episode of Sacred Games probably tomorrow. If I have a 12-hour day tomorrow, so we'll see how I feel when I get home. I might just pass out and fall asleep, but I need to review that first one. I'm also going to do a bonus episode, like a bonus review thing that I was thinking about. We'll see how that turns out. Once you get 3 strikes, you can still contest your channel gets shut down automatically. It gets shut down automatically. All your videos go away and it says this channel is no longer there. Then you have to hopefully find somebody in YouTube that you can talk to maybe get your channel back up. But you have to be a pretty big channel to have those kind of connections. Like if my channel got shut down, it would just be gone. There's no coming back from that. I would have to create a new channel and start all over again. Kabali did get a strike, but then they removed it. There was a huge thing back when Kabali came out, and that's why my second Kabali video of me dancing around to the music got 250,000 views, is because the first one that I did, which had the trailer in it, that one got blocked and striked. Then Jabby got striked, Bali Fools, and so me and Jabby, Bali Fools, and Sergeant Rocco, a few others, we were trying to get them to take it off, and I think Bali Fools and Jabby were able to get them to remove the strikes, and it kind of trickled down to the rest of us, and they removed the strikes for all of them. But that second one didn't get a strike because I didn't show picture-in-picture, and that's why everyone's searching for Kabali. The only video that really came up was my second video, and that's why it got so much attention. The one that got striked was Dodmain Haduga. Yeah, a lot of people were commenting about Gulal and Gangs of Wasipur after that Raman Raghov review in the comments. They're planning to go up to season 4. I think I may have missed the first part of that, Josh. What is going to season 4? My upcoming movie reviews. I did see Ant-Man and the Wasp. I didn't review it on the other channel. I haven't had time. I have so many things that I need to review. I did like Ant-Man and the Wasp. It was a cool movie. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's a good one. I like it. But my movie review list is in the description of every video. I have a link to a Google document that lists out the ones and why, you know, whether it came from a Patreon or like the 2 that came from Denver Johnson, the one that won the poll. I just, you know, new movies take precedence, and then Ramen Ragov was kind of a fluke because my brother wanted to see it as well, and we just kind of did it last minute leading up to Sacred Games so that he could see Nawazudan's performance. 2.0 finally released on the 29th of November. We'll see. I stopped paying attention to the release dates because they change all the time, so I'm taking it with a grain of salt, and I'm not going to really think about the movie again until I see a full trailer with finished footage. So until I see that, I'm not worried about the movie. Yeah, Bollyfools was a good channel. Actually, the guy that ran their Twitter account, Kartik, he liked my channel, and so he kind of gave me some attention early on just because he would be tweeting about me through the Bollyfools Twitter account, and so it looked like the Bollyfools were tweeting about me, but they weren't. It was kind of weird, but yeah, Dawn is the next old movie. I got halfway through the movie and then got called into work. I was trying to review that one. So I saw the first half of Dawn. And I liked that. Go Go Gone 2 is coming soon. Ooh. I remember liking the first one. That was a while ago. So I would like to see what they do with the sequel. Riza, hello. Watched only Galal fully. Tends to overdo evil drama. As long as well, like in Ramen Ragov, the whole movie was dark. There was no hero. So there wasn't any kind of hero to balance the story. But it was, I loved what they did with it. It was very different. Pieces of Work is reading the novel Sacred Games before he starts reviewing the series. Oh, okay. So it's based off of the book and the 4th book. How many books are there for Sacred Games? Yep, I did know about those, Arvid. Yeah, Mission Impossible is coming next week, is it? Like the 21st or something? Ravi, hello. Did I like being a realtor? I did, but the market shifted on me, and then so being in real estate or sales of any kind, you really need to be extremely proactive in generating leads. And that's not how I like to work. You know, when I was a realtor, I liked being the guy that people would come to for information. I would help them find things, and then I would end up getting business off of that. But a lot of the big realtors, they do cold calling and mailings and all of this other stuff that I really don't want to do. So when the market shifted and it started costing me more money to keep my license than it was that I was making, I got out of it, and I'm moving in another direction. But with work, it's hard for me to find time to build my new production company. It's time. Everything is just time. I need to find a way of managing my time a lot better, I guess. Oh, it's one big book. Okay. Releases on the 27th? I thought it released it next week. Yeah, I guess. It does. 27th. So we got 2 weeks until Mission Impossible. Yes, that one is on the list. You can see it in the description, the list of trailers I'll do. Why in the USA is a date written 7/27/18? For some reason, we do month and then day and then year. I don't know why. But that's not next week, it's the week after. Ravi, yeah, I heard about 2.0 releasing in November, but I'm taking it with a grain of salt. Like I said, I'm not really paying attention to 2.0 again until I see a full trailer with finished footage. I just, I hope whenever they can release it that it's a finished film the way that they wanted it to look and be done. So I'm not worried about when it comes out, but I'm not paying attention to the release dates anymore, just because they change. Did I watch The Equalizer 2? No, I didn't get to see any movies this weekend because we had a fire at my job, and so the past month we've been working a lot of hours trying to reset everything and get it back into working order, and we're almost there. But I haven't had much time to go to the theater. I did get to see Ant-Man and the Wasp, though. I had one day where I was working earlier than normal, and so I got off work and had about 10 minutes to get to the theater before it started, and I made it just in time. What is football in America? It's not soccer. So we have a sport, you would call it American football, which is, the guys with all the pads and the egg-shaped ball, and they tackle each other and throw it. That game was more popular out here before what international football, or what we call soccer. Now, soccer is a term that was derived from football. I can't remember from which language, but it is in reference to football. It's not like we just created some random name. But yes, yeah, I am going to watch Gold. I do want to see that. Office US versus Friends versus How I Met Your Mother. Which one would I binge? Well, I haven't seen all of The Office or How I Met Your Mother, but I have seen all of Friends. So I guess I would probably binge The Office because I think it has more intelligent humor than How I Met Your Mother. I didn't get baseball game rules. Well, it is a lot different than cricket. We don't get cricket rules. So, totally understandable. But if you watch a baseball game these days, especially in the United States, like, they spell everything out. And they have, you know, graphics that tell you where every pitch went and what they mean. And it's a lot easier to keep up, to get into it once you've seen a few games. Shankar patched up some scenes in 2.0 to reduce time in the VFX process. I also heard that they were working with that company to get everything, you know, back on track, but I don't know the background on that. I am watching Sacred Games. I saw the first episode. I'll be reviewing each episode after I watch them. Baseball is very different from cricket, though. It's very, very different. American football is kind of like rugby. Yes, it is kind of like rugby. Just with a lot of pads and many more concussions. Sorry, PK, can't do the 96 teaser. It's under the Whacked Out Media MCN. Have I ever seen Riverdale? No. But I do know it's based off of the Archie comics. But it looked too much like a teen drama for me that I would get really bored with, so I never watched it. I heard they were remaking Speed. Why would you remake Speed? You can do a sequel to Speed, bring in another person and do another sequel, but why remake it? I knew Akash, spelling bee kid. Not sure what you mean. No. What's my favorite sport movie? That's a good one. Well, I mean, Any Given Sunday is one of the classics, I guess, or the natural. But I kind of like the somewhat cheesy Disney movies, you know, like, what was it? There was a baseball movie that I liked. I like The Replacements. It's more of a funny movie. Or the oh, I can't remember the name of that one. But I do like sports movies, but they're more like casual watching for me. Moneyball, that's a really good one. I did like Moneyball. Disney is buying 20th Century Fox. Oh, they're trying. It has to get approved, though. Once you get large companies like that in the United States trying to buy each other, it has to get approved by the government because to make sure that they're not creating a monopoly, because monopolies are illegal. Well, some kind of monopolies are illegal, apparently. Yeah, they remade a lot of 80s, 90s movies. Point Break, yeah, and that remake was horrible. So that's why I'm saying, why remake Speed? Just do another movie like that. I have not seen Sorma. Yeah, the Uday is giving you some stuff for baseball. Which is the best, Incredibles or Incredibles 2? I would say the first one is better, but I really liked Incredibles 2. I thought they were both really good, but I think the first one is a little better. Do I have a favorite music video or songs in the movie that I watch? No, I don't have favorites of really anything, but there are some that I liked. Like I liked Tasaku in Vikram Vita because of the big hairy guys dancing around. And I really liked, what is that one in Padmavat? It's like Veda Villa or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but I liked that one. The dancing in that was really good, and the camera work going around in there was really nice. I liked that. And I like the auto, you know, the auto dancing song in the beginning of Basha, just because I thought that was really cool. Was I talking about Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off? Not me. The Burning Train. Interesting. My most awaited movie in 2018. I don't have anything that's really glaring at me, like, you know, like yeah, I don't think there's anything in this year that's like screaming at me that I need to watch. I mean, I guess I would say 2.0, but that's still up in the air if it actually comes out in November. I'm waiting for a trailer before I believe that. But other than that, yeah, Kalabali, that's it. Padmavat. I liked that one. I liked the dancing in that. That was a really good one. But I can't think of anything off the top of my head where I'm like waiting for it to come out in 2018, except for maybe Halloween, but I'm an old Halloween fan, and so I like the idea of, you know, them basically retconning the entire series and it just being a sequel to the first movie. But that John Carpenter is back. The original guy that played Michael Myers is back, but he's kind of old now, so he's training the guy that's going to be in the suit to act like him, so it's going to have that feel of the original movie, I'm hoping. Burning Train. I don't react to songs because of the high risk of copyright issues. Yeah, I like cheesy horror movies. For me, Halloween is like, you know, an old, comfortable nostalgia horror movie stuff. It's like, eat your popcorn and just have fun watching a masked guy kill teenagers. So, like a Jason movie or a Freddy movie. But this new one, I have a lot of high hopes for. Rishabh, hello from America. You're in India. I have not seen Being Cyrus. Have I completed Dawn? No, I got through the first half and then I got called into work. Haven't been able to get through it. And then Sacred Games came out, and so now I'm doing that. Michael Myers versus Jason. Yeah, that would be cool, except Jason would win just because he's already dead. Michael Myers never died. So he's alive. He has the ability to be dead. And Jason is already dead, therefore he has more power. But that's what makes Michael Myers a little bit more scary than Jason, is that he has an actual real psychosis and could exist in real life. Don't get me wrong, I love slashers from the 80s and 90s. Yeah, they're just fun. And the original Halloween was actually 78. Eddie the Eagle, that was a good one. I did like that one. Let's start with the reactions. Yeah. I have not watched the Houseful series. Varatan, I don't think is on my list, but I do have 2 Malayalam films down there, so you can check that out. It's in the description. But yeah, let's get into it. The first one, our first teaser for the night is a Telugu teaser called Goodachari. And it's a 4K teaser, but I can't watch it in 4K because I don't have a 4K monitor. But I do have English subtitles, so let us check it out and see what they got for us.
రా ఎందుకు జాయిన్ అవుదాం అనుకుంటున్నావు? మీ నాన్న అవుదామనా?
నాన్న బలం సార్. కారణం కంట్రీ.
Oh, they're doing the gunfire to the beat of music. That's always pretty cool. Handheld. It's gonna have a gritty feel. They've got a kind of saturated color scheme, kind of make it feel more realistic. Ooh, I like that. Wow, that explosion was pretty cool. I want to see that explosion again, because it looked practical, but he would not be the practical element. That is a pretty cool angle. You know, most of the time when they show someone jumping out of a building and there's an explosion, it's from the side so that you see the guy falling and then the explosion happening. You know, like in Die Hard. That's probably one of the most famous, especially since he's doing the same thing that they did in Die Hard, which is wrapping the fire hose around him, because he's got, it looks like a fire hose. Maybe it's a strap that he had, but that explosion looks practical, except I don't think it happened on the building and the explosion is green screened in. However, him falling, that could be a practical stunt. It looks cool though. I like it. I like the way it looks. They did it very well. I like the lighting, I like the color. But you can see here, like with a day shot, you have a lot of soft light. The colors are a little bit saturated to give it more of a, you know, a gritty, realistic feel to it. So it's not going to be like bright and vibrant, which is good because then it wouldn't match the tone. But it's still, it's very clean focus, clean color, clean lighting. I like that. Drone shot. So he is an assassin? Is that what I'm getting from it? I'm doing this for my country. I like the snow. That looks really cool. I like the lines. The framing of it looks really nice. The snow coming off of the trees, the lines of the street. It's a beautiful shot. So there's his love interest. You know, there's this right here. I've seen this in a lot of movies where you've got, you know, seen this in a lot of movies where you have like an assassin or somebody, and then they go to a fair and they show off their skills at some, you know, kind of side little party game. You know, he probably's, you know, he's getting close to her, he's helping her aim and whatnot, but then either she's gonna turn around, maybe they miss, you know, or it turns out to be a scam to where the things are weighted and so it's not going to fall over or something like that. and then he's gonna grab it and just like ace shooting, do 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 do, and take it out, and then she's gonna be amazed, or he's gonna do it when her back is turned and get the prize for her. But I've seen that in a lot of movies, and it's always a cute scene, so I like it. Stairwells. I see a lot of normal shots and filming for a thriller, but this is a cool shot. The overhead drone. Some handheld. But I do like there's a lot of medium shots. Now that's a pretty shot right there. You got the snow coming down. He's in a suit. Very classy. I don't know. I like it. Oh, it was a fire hose. Okay. So yeah. It is very much of a Die Hard moment. But it's pretty cool. And like I said, I do like that shot. I like the way that they framed that. They didn't try to, you know, directly copy everything from Die Hard where they had the same framing of him coming out of the building. This is a unique framing for that stunt. And I like it. That's pretty cool. No. What are you doing? So that was Goodachari. What do you guys think? Comment below. Let me know. I think it looks pretty good. Looks pretty interesting. I want to know a little bit more about what's going on, so it did a job well as a teaser. I'm happy. What is completely in English, Annie? The TV behind me? Yeah, that is 4K. Not going to be doing the orange teaser. I've got my 6 that I'll be doing tonight. The gunshot background score. That's a very popular thing right now. You know, they did it with Punisher, the Netflix show. I've seen it many, many times where you time a gunshot to the music or vice versa. Jackie Chan dancing in Kung Fu yoga. You know, that's why he did the movie. He always wanted to be in a, you know, Indian dance sequence. And so he took the movie so that he could do that scene. That was pretty much his main reason for doing the movie. What do I think about the level of action stunts in today's South Indian movies as compared to Hollywood level? So the thing about action sequences is preparation and time. I think a lot of like lower budget movies just don't have the time or the money to spend the time on an action stunt to make it its best. So they do the best they can, and they do a good job. But Hollywood action movies have an immense amount of money and can spend a lot of time. Like if you look at the behind the scenes on any of Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible movies, they spend an insane amount of time just to do one small stunt. So a lot of the smaller budget South Indian films don't have that kind of time. Until they are able to spend that time in preparation and filming over and over again until it looks perfect, you know, they do the best they can with what they have, and I think they do a good job with what they've got. Trailer for 1967 Goodachari 116. That's a interesting title. Birbal Trilogy character teaser. Interesting. I'll have to check it out, but I already have the stuff I'm reacting to tonight. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Yeah, that was an interesting movie, for sure. It was fun, though. It was a fun movie. Really interesting. Overuse of CGI. Yeah, they use a lot of CGI in that one. Yeah, Netflix is a great place to give freedom to filmmakers, all kinds of filmmakers. Yeah, Red, there's a lot of movies that use too much CGI for their action. And I point them out. I'm like, this is just a lazy action scene because it's all CGI. Like CGI when it's not needed. I don't like that. CGI should be something that complements or helps create a scene and not just do the scene. CGI and VFX. CGI is computer graphic image, so it's an image that is created solely in a computer. VFX is visual effects, which is the manipulation of practical elements. So you can have CGI in a VFX shot. The CGI would be the element that was solely created in a computer, whether it be like some movies use a CGI explosion, but then it becomes a VFX shot because that CGI element is placed in a practical scene. So it's a visual effects of a CGI element. I hope that cleared it up. So like what they're doing in Zero, that's a visual effects shot. You know, they're manipulating him in post-production, but they're not using CGI to do it. VFX and green screen is an element of visual effects. What do I think of Sacred Games entry as the first Indian web series by Netflix? What you expect now, the new Indian writers will get more and more exposure for Netflix collaboration? Well, they already have another one, Ghoul, which is the next one that I'm reacting to. So, I saw the first episode of Sacred Games. It's a very ballsy move on the story point, and I like where they're going with it. We'll see what they do. And yeah, I mean, Netflix is a great place, and I think with the amount of money Netflix is wanting to spend on content and bringing in so much Indian movies and other Indian content, Netflix and Amazon are really competing for the Indian market right now because there's enough people getting online to make it worth it for them. And as India gets more and more people online, the more money they could make. CGI is computer generated, VFX, yep, that's true. The Indian Shakespearean trilogy, what is that? So like they create a CGI building and destroy it and use it in a VFX with a real actor. Well, in this movie, no, that wasn't a CGI building. I don't think. It looked like a real building with a practical stunt, and then they filmed an explosion and incorporated it in the background. But it's not a CGI explosion. He's not CGI, and the building's not CGI. But they may have used green screen for him falling and green screen for the explosion over a real building. Is what I think. Now, if they did a CGI building, cool, it looks good. I didn't think it was a CGI building. Oh, hey, Shrish. You got Sacred Games? Cool. Inception VFX. Yeah, Inception, they did not use any CGI in Inception. It was all visual effects. So it was, they tried to use as much practical as possible and a lot of visual effects elements, but I don't think they used any computer imagery. I am going to be reviewing Sacred Games. I saw the first one, Shrish. Netflix versus Amazon, but piracy wins. Well, that is a problem. In India, piracy is a huge problem, and I gotta tell you, if Netflix and Amazon don't get enough subscribers to justify the cost, they're not going to pump any more money in India until the market gets better. So, piracy, I understand it. However, it may hurt you in the long run. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing the Birbal trilogy right now. I've got 6 that I'm doing already. But some time freeze rain effects. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Maybe we can get it on the next live stream. I'll try and do another one soon. Oh, I did hear about those. The adaptations of Macbeth, Othello. Yeah. Yeah, Ghoul is... Oh, hey, Bong Connection. How's it going, bro? I did a collab with him. Netflix and other digital channels are not going to be mainstream in India anytime soon. Well, no, it's going to be the same as it is in America. Netflix and Amazon are fun. They're great places to binge things when you're at home, but people still go to the theaters. But I do understand that people can't afford it. I'm just saying that because I couldn't afford it. I mean, heck, Madhavan got Amazon to give me a Prime account so I could review the show. But what I'm saying is, if there's too much piracy and not enough new subscribers, then it doesn't justify the cost for producing the shows. So, from a business standpoint, if Netflix and Amazon don't get a certain amount of new subscribers based off of the content, they're not going to make any new content because it's not worth it to them. What do you think about the bold step today taken by South Indian producers like Bahubali and 2.0? What makes it possible is a lot of investors investing a lot of money. Bahubali and 2.0 are very ambitious, large productions. 2.0 arguably costs too much money right now, just because it may break even, but it's not clear if it'll make a profit. But really, they just need to finish the movie and get it out so that it's not, because they just added more to the budget again. And it's getting to a point where it may not make a profit, but at least the investors will get their money back. Amazon Prime fee is affordable. Well, Amazon Prime is affordable in India. It's not affordable in the US. Now, they did change Amazon Prime to where you can do a monthly subscription, which is good. But in the past, it was like the only way to get Prime was to spend $120 for a year. In India, it's like $16 for a year or something like that. So it's way more affordable in India than it is in the US. In the US, it's like $16 a month. In India, it was like $16 for a year. Yeah, 2.0 budget is getting a little too high. Do I like singing and dancing in Indian movies? Yeah, as long as it's done right. Now, I've mentioned this before, but I don't like music videos that are just randomly dropped into a movie that have no context to the film, because that's distracting from the movie. But if you have your scene that happens before and after the song and dance, and the song and dance takes place on set, on location of where the characters are interacting, and the song has something to do with what's going on, then it has a smooth in and a smooth out, and you don't distract from the movie. But I think sometimes you know, they try to get 3 or 4 songs in a movie when they should have stopped at 2. You know, and they try and push it to that 3rd one, and the 3rd one doesn't work. Or they have 3 that work, and then they push it to get a 4th one, but the 4th one doesn't work. So I'd rather them just put in the song and dance sequences that really fit the tone of the film. They don't distract from the story. You're not going to come out of the song and dance section and wonder where you are in the storyline. It should just fit. And I don't care if they have just 1 song or 5, as long as they all work well. Because like even in Raman Raghov, they had songs, but they weren't dances. And 2 of them worked, 1 of them didn't. So I would end up cutting that 3rd one and just have the first 2. Yeah, 2.0 budget is growing day by day. That is true. But I also don't want them to release an incomplete movie, because then they would hurt themselves, because the box office would be too low. So they need to release a finished movie. They're just stuck in a really bad place right now. Like, I feel sorry for Shankar, because the situation that they're in is not a good situation. But hopefully they learn from all of it, and the next movie will, you know, a lot of times if there is a failure, and I'm not saying the movie will be a failure at all. I'm saying the situation that they're in is a failure, in that there's a lot of things that are going wrong, and it's costing way more than they were expecting. So hopefully in the future, when he does his next movie, he'll have all of that fixed before they even get into production. It would be such an anticlimax after all the hype if 2.0 turns out to be a disappointment. Yeah, it would, but that's the same with any movie that has a lot of hype. I did not watch Sanju. I wanted to. I was actually going to try and see it on Friday, but I had to go into work early. I couldn't get out to the theater, and it was actually a little bit closer than most Indian movies, but I just wasn't able to. What gaming consoles do I play on? I have a PS3, but I don't own any games for it. I'm not a console gamer. I'm a PC gamer. Whenever I play games, it's always on a PC. But I'm not a huge gamer anymore. I was a long time ago, but I'm not a big gamer. I just don't have the time to play games. I barely have time to do YouTube, which is what I would rather do. Yeah, Josh, I can't imagine the pressure that Shankar's got to be under right now. You know, when the movie when the movie comes out, I bet he's going to have like a really long vacation. Well, you can have good director and you can have good actors, but if the story isn't good, the movie will fail. So that's why I'm saying I need to see a trailer. A full trailer with finished shots. Until then, I'm not really worried about it. Yeah, Sanju is doing really well in the box office, and it's been out here for a while. I wish I could have gotten out to see it. So let's do this second trailer. This one is another Netflix show. It is called Ghoul. From what I understand, it's a horror genre. So let's see what they got for us. Netflix has been killing it lately.
Highest scorer. Consistently top of our league. But going beyond your duty जो तुमने country के लिए sacrifice किया है. तुम्हारे अब्बू को पकड़वाने में जो तुमने हमारी मदद की है, वो सारे civilians और officers के लिए brave example है. Thank you, sir. इन सब में मुझे एक confession और चाहिए. अल-सईद अली आपको.
Very gritty. Creepy. So they're all stuck inside the jail, and he's killing them off one by one, but she's trying to stop him. Oh, wow, okay. There's the ghoul. So that was a cool effect. Some makeup with a little bit of CGI effect on there. So this ghoul, it looks like it would be like a possession type film. Is this a movie or is this a series? Because if this was a series, it would be... I don't know how they would keep that going. But if it was a movie, it would make a lot of sense for me. So let me know, is this a movie or a series? I think it's a movie. Jimmy, hello. But you have, you know, it's very much of a horror movie feel to it. You have the saturated or the muted colors, very grays, dark blues, orange and yellows. I like the idea that she's like an interrogator. The music was good too. I liked the background score. You know, had an ominous, creepy feel to it. But where does this ghoul come from? Now, the trailer does a good job of making me wonder, why is there a ghoul? Where did this ghoul come from? You know, what is going on with it? Why is he in this criminal? I like the lightning in the background. From the people that brought you Insidious and Get Out. So is that the production company? Yeah, the whole saying the things over and over that's hard to understand. It's usually like an older language or something. It's very much of a possession type film, or storyline. I like. You see that in stuff like Exorcist and anything else that has a possession in it. They speak in tongues or another. So what is that thing with her father? He's like, how is your father? And she was all surprised. I guess that's another thing we got to figure out when we're watching this, is what is the story with her father? And then it kind of turns into like Alien, or one of those kind of movies where they're stuck in this, they're locked down in this secure government facility, but the ghoul is going around and killing people like one by one. So I see a lot of things that are similar to a lot of other storylines, but it's interesting. It's something I would want to watch. The trailer does a good job of giving us questions that I want answers to, like who is this ghoul and where did it come from and why? Who is her father? What's the whole thing with that? Why is she surprised about it? And I'm curious to see how they would end it. It's one of those movies that it could be pretty good the whole time, and then if the ending is bad, it ruins the whole thing, and if the ending is good, it makes the movie better. So we'll see. I mean, I'm hesitant, but it looks interesting. It's not something that I would rush out to Netflix to go and watch, like, Sacred Games or something like that. It's not where I'm like, oh, I can't wait for it to come out. It's more of like one of those things that I'll see when I'm looking through Netflix for something to watch, and it'll pop up and I'll go, oh, I remember that trailer, and then I watch it. That's how I think it will end up being. Yeah, so is it a show or a movie? Let's look it up. It's a series. So it looks like it's going to be a 3-part series. So basically a long movie. They're not going to be doing an 8-part series like they did with Breathe, or I think Sacred Games is 7-part series. I think a 3-part series at 40-45 minutes a piece, that's basically a movie. It's a movie that got broken up into 3 parts, which would be your 3 acts of a play: Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. So yeah, I think that would work. I don't know why they wouldn't just put them together as a single movie, though. Why would you want to release them as separate separate smaller format shows? And it could be the way it was written. It may have been written in that format, but unless you're going to do more than 5 episodes, just make it a movie, right? Now, it could be more than 3 episodes, but IMDb is showing 3 episodes. So this is what IMDb is showing. 3 episodes. If there's more, they just didn't update the IMDb page. But what do you guys think? Comment below. Let me know. Do I have cable or do I stream, or both? I stream. My parents have cable, but I don't watch cable. I do Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, sometimes Hulu. And then for other TV shows that I like, most of them are free on their websites, like CW shows and stuff like that. So mostly everything I watch is online. Ant-Man and the Wasp was good. I think it was better than the first one, but I liked the first one. However, I think they should have spent more time in the quantum realm. But I like the direction that they're going, and it makes sense of why it came out after Infinity War. So, I liked it. Was there a Stan Lee cameo? Yes, there was, Josh, and I gotta say, it's up there with one of the best ones. The whole theater laughed. I really liked that cameo. I would put it in the top 5. I wouldn't say it's the absolute best Stan Lee cameo, but it's probably in my top 5 Stan Lees. It was a good one. You'd like it. What do I think of the Skyscraper movie? I think it would be a fun time at the theater, but don't expect anything grand. You know, it's basically Die Hard with a bigger building, and the guy has a prosthetic leg. So it's got some interesting aspects of it, but I know how the entire movie is going to play out. Like, I could review the movie before I even watch it. You know, the trailer gave away a lot of stuff, and it's going to hit a lot of the beats that I know. So, what do I do other than YouTube? I work at a retail store. I used to be a realtor, but the market shifted and I left, and so I got a job at a retail store to try and pay bills. And then I created a production company for Koricon Productions. I have a second YouTube channel, which is really, really small for just American stuff. I also volunteer with a local newspaper called the Longmont Observer, and I do interviews for them for local businesses. Basically, a lot of stuff that I do doesn't pay money. YouTube doesn't make me much of anything. Volunteering to do those interviews for the local nonprofit paper, I don't get paid for that. I've had a couple of paid gigs for my production company, like filming seminars and things like that, but I need to get more in there. And I have a lot of contacts with my realtor friends that I could probably get into some photography for real estate and stuff like that, but yeah, that's basically it. Mission Impossible 6 got a highest rating ever on IMDb. I don't really pay attention to the IMDb ratings or the Rotten Tomatoes scores, mostly because they can be manipulated because they're public forum. So I don't really look at scores or reviews or anything before I see a movie. I'll check them out after I see a movie. Or if I end up not seeing the movie in theaters and I'm not going to review it, I might check out some reviews. Netflix has 6 to 8 Indian originals lined up. Cool. Do we know what they all are? IGN gave Skyscraper an 8 and Sacred Games a 5.5. Yeah. I don't really care what IGN thinks. But I'm glad they like Skyscraper. I'm sorry that they kind of liked Sacred Games. It looks like they were half and half. The struggle is real. Yes, it is, Josh. Yes, it is. All right, let's do this next. This is a trailer. It's a Malayalam trailer with Mohanlal. I can never pronounce his name right. But this one is called Kayamkulam Kochunni. I know I slaughtered that, but oh well. Let's check it out. Let's see what they got. Oh, I need sound. Oh. Ooh, I like period pieces. 1830s. Whoa. Look at that. That's a great shot. Oh, I like that. They had a shot like that in Amazon Overuse. Into the love story.
I
like the way it's looking. Oh, that was pretty cool. What festival is that? I don't know about that last scene. Yeah, that one looks a bit cheesy. But hopefully it's short. I don't know. Yeah, it looks really cool. I like the way that it looks. It's shot really well. Look, I like that. Wide shot of all the boats. You have the nice colors of the water with the green in the background and the sand. I like the color scheme that they're going with. But this scene in the beginning, look at that. It looks good. I mean, it's visual effects, but it looks cool. I like big sailboats. I love period pieces. So the whole thing of the 1830s is awesome. 1830. Look at that. Awesome wide shot. Cool elephants. A lot of zoom-ins, or not zoom-in, but tracking shots. A lot of slow-mo, which is not unusual. But the colors pop. The sets look good. Costumes look good. I like the rain. I like that rain. That is an awesome shot, though. You have a cool, slow tracking shot with all of these different shades of greens in the background. Nice open area with the big elephants. It looks really cool. That was cool too. And I like the way that's framed. Look at the water with all of the green coming in. Reminds me of a wider shot that was in the trailer for Amazon Overuse. Some really big sets that they're using, and I do like big sets. Gives an expanse to the film. A lot of great wide shots, and I'm loving that. That was an interesting shot. Did you watch how that was being zoomed out. I like that. You got your love story. Of course, it seems to be a very small part of this trailer, so I'm wondering how much of it takes place in the movie. Is it just going to be a, you know, a 20-minute section of the entire film? Like, if you're going to introduce a love story, I would want if you're going to introduce a love story, I want it to have some kind of impact on the character and not just there for the sole purpose of having a love story. You know, I know love stories are very popular and that many movies want to incorporate them, but if it doesn't fit the overall story arc, and if you introduce this female character but then you don't use her for anything else in the movie except for that one love sequence, then why have it in there? Do you know what I mean? I don't want it to be a distraction from the main story. I want it to be integrated and be a part of the film and not just there to be there. Because the rest of the teaser has a much different tone and everything else is going on. So I'm not sure how that love story fits into the story. Huh. I mean, we'll see when we see it, right? Now, it could be maybe him marrying her is against the law, and then that gets incorporated into the story that way, kind of like in Braveheart or something like that. That would be cool. And that would be a great way of integrating the love story into the overall story arc. And what is this festival called where they had all of the... Oh, that's a cool wide shot. Look at that. There's so much going on. I like that. So many cool colors. Just a big set. I like the big sets. Now, what is that festival where everybody is standing on each other? Looks like he's hanging something from the top, but then they end up making this dome and the guys are wrestling in there. That's cool. But what is that festival called? Let me know. Or let me know over here. Look, the sets and the locations, the wide shots all look great. The action looks like a lot of slow motion, which is okay. But this last one, that last scene, I think you should have cut that out of the trailer. I don't think it fits, and it wasn't as good as everything else. But other than that, yeah, I like it. I like it. Hey Pranev, how's it going? There are so many British palaces and buildings that still remain in India. Well, it's good to take advantage of those areas when you're doing a period piece. Achut, hello. SOS Copyrights. Hello. Interesting name. SOS means help. Help copyrights. Or maybe SOS stands for something. What does SOS stand for? Yeah, the Untitled Bahubali prequel series. I remember something about that. Selection Day, again, Bard of Blood, Crocodile, an Untitled Mumbai India docu-series. I like docu-series. He's a Muslim and his love interest is a lower caste Hindu girl. That could cause some friction. They had to show the final scene with Mohanlal so people would watch the trailer. I guess. For his fan base, yeah, I can totally see that. But from an outsider that's reviewing the trailer as a trailer, I would cut that last scene because it doesn't look good. The rest of the trailer looks great. That last scene does not look good. And it's not a good note to end the trailer on, because it's like, that looks good, that looks awesome, that looks cool, and then bleh. You're like, ooh, whoa, what was that? Why is that in there? What about my request reaction? You replay me dining this live streaming. Replay you eating during my live streaming? What? I don't think I quite understand. Or maybe I'm missing something. Rajamouli is strongly considering doing a Bahubali 3. I did hear rumors about that. I don't know how well it would work. I mean, you could go, you know, in the future, or, you know, after Bahubali, the son takes over as king, and then you just go years later, maybe there's an uprising, or not an uprising, but if they're following the storyline from the first two movies, they would probably have another political intrigue going on of someone trying to take control and take power and either kill him or take him off the throne. The thing is, if they do that, they're just kind of repeating his father's storyline from Bahubali 2, and I wouldn't want them to do that. I would, if they do a third movie, I want it to be different and have a different storyline, have something else going on there. So I would be interested in a Bahubali 3, I just don't want them to repeat themselves. People would watch a song more if there is Michael Jackson in there with another guy who is less famous, even though the song is by a less famous person. Yeah, I totally get the concept. I'm just saying that last scene ends the trailer on a bad note, and the rest of the trailer is really good. So I would cut the last scene, just to make the overall trailer better. Doing Bahubali 3 would be trying too hard to milk the fame of the franchise. I agree to a point. If they can come up with a really good storyline that justifies the reasoning for a third movie, I would be behind it. But if they just repeat the second movie with his father's storyline and now the son is going through it, then I don't want to watch it. It's like a prequel to Bahubali depicting the rise. Yeah, you're talking about the Netflix series. I did read about that. Who's my favorite Malayalam actor? I don't have a favorite of anything. So I don't have... I guess I have one thing that I say is my favorite. And that is my favorite movie. But it's a nostalgic reasoning. It's not because it's the best movie ever made. But I don't have favorite actors, producers, directors, or anything like that. I have actors and producers and directors and writers that have a good track record that I believe have a chance of doing a good movie. But I don't have blinders on when I go into a film. I don't fanboy over anybody. It's a standalone movie. Which one? Maybe I missed what you said. Prabhas doesn't want to do it again. The prequel series may add layers. That's possible. I mean, I guess they would want to see how the series does before they ever consider a third Bahubali. I don't know. Never watched Bahubali. Is it worth watching? Yes. I enjoyed it. Actually, my channel got started on it. Or my, you know, the whole going into Indian films, that opened the door for me. Oh, what request, Pranav? What did I miss? Yeah, there was an animated series for Bahubali, but I hadn't seen it. Prince or Michael Jackson? Michael Jackson is a better entertainer, but Prince is a better musician. Do I watch any mainstream YouTubers regularly? Yes. I watch Philip DeFranco, both of his channels. Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon. I like MKBHD. I like his tech reviews. And then I watch a couple of news things like I like Internet Today, which is actually a new channel, but it's really from an old channel called ETC, but they left their company and created a new one. I just like the guys. I think they're funny. And they do some interesting stuff. I like Collider, Nerdist, but I don't watch all of their stuff. I just watch certain things. And a couple of reactions from Blind Wave, which they're really nice guys. I like those guys. Do you watch... Oh, just talking about songs. Prince or Michael Jackson? Well, like I said, Michael Jackson's a better entertainer, but Prince is a better musician. So I think musically Prince has better songs, but Michael Jackson's songs are more entertaining. Not just live, I'm saying songs in general. Like Michael Jackson is more famous than Prince for a reason. Because he's more entertaining. I hate Keemstar. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Keemstar. I don't like him either. What do I think of Thugs of Hindustan and Zero movie? Well, I have high hopes for both of them. I am seriously impressed with Zero's visual effects. You know, I would love to chat with those guys just to pick their brain on what they're doing over there, because and I have some theories. I have some theories on how they are doing it, but I don't want to share them yet. Bahubali animation series about what happens Mahesh Mehta and his life. Ah, okay. Did I see Hacksaw Ridge? Yes, I did. I thought it was good. Jon Snow, hello. SD, yes, I have started watching Sacred Games. I saw the first episode. I'm going to be reviewing each episode, but I'm reviewing them after I see the episode and before I see the others. So I saw the first episode and I need to review that one before I watch the second episode. And then I also have a bonus video kind of planned, but I need to iron out some things before I announce anything. Do I like The Weeknd? I am not aware of them. Are the socio-political references really hard to understand for outsiders? No. I don't think so. But I haven't really gotten to any of the episodes that may dive really deep into that yet. So I can't say for sure. I'm just basing my opinion off of the first episode. It's probably a dumb question, but why were there 3 people cast Spider-Man in a decade? Well, the first 3 movies were made by Sam Raimi, director. Spider-Man was too old, Tobey Maguire, so he kind of aged out of the role, and Spider-Man 3 was so bad that it ruined everything, and so they couldn't make a 4th one. Then Sony, you know, Spider-Man is like their bread and butter, so they need to keep the series going. So they rebooted it as Amazing Spider-Man, so you have to recast him because it's, I guess you would call it a different universe because it's a different production, different director, different writers. So you have to get a different Spider-Man. But then the second one was so bad it ruined that one, any chances of having a third. And then Marvel got the rights back for Spider-Man for 6 movies, and Marvel is not going to use an older Spider-Man. They're taking it back to the high school days, so you have to recast for a 3rd time. Have I seen the German TV series Dark? No, I haven't, but I have heard good things about it. Kendrick Lamar, who sung in Black Panther. Yes, he did. Yes. Okay. So we're halfway through the reactions, and we've been streaming for a while. I'm going to take a break. The Weeknd, as in the guy who did the Starboy. See, I'm not aware of that. I am not aware. What are my favorite Netflix shows? Well, I liked Daredevil Season 2. I'm trying to think of, you know, I liked Stranger Things. I like Season 1 more than Season 2, though. I like some of their docu-series. I watch some of those when I can. Luke Cage, the first half of the first season was really good. I did not like Iron Fist. I'm glad you liked it, Josh, but I don't. Dark is a sci-fi thriller. I did hear, like I said, I heard a lot of good things about it. Defenders, I saw like the first 4 episodes and I wasn't impressed, so I didn't finish the season, but I'm sure one of these days I will, just to catch up on all of it. I did like The Punisher, but it took me a while to get through all the episodes just because I was really busy. But I think they could have cut it down by 2 episodes and made it a little tighter. But I did like it. Am I Australian? No, I'm American. I live in Colorado in the United States. But don't hold that against me. I did not vote for Trump. Alright, I'm going to take a break, guys. So give me like 10 minutes and then I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves, and I will be back in a bit. No, I didn't go poop. I did take a wee, though. No, it's not over. We're kind of at the halfway point in a way. I did hear that John Berthenol is going to be in The Walking Dead. I don't know quite how they're going to do that, unless he's a zombie. Maybe a backflash. Trump and Hillary are both bad for office. Yes, they are. Yashvir, hello. Died laughing when IGM gave Sacred Games a 5 and Skyscraper an 8. Yeah, I don't follow IGN's reviews. But I'm not surprised. I mean, an American movie over an Indian show. IGN is an American thing. They probably just didn't understand it. Aladdin or Lion King? Lion King had better songs, and I think a better written story, but I loved the villain in Aladdin. Scar was a good villain, but I just really liked the villain in Aladdin. Marvel or DC? I like them both when it comes to comic books. When it comes to movies, it's Marvel. DC has been kind of shooting themselves in the foot with their movies. But, you know, they have some redeeming factors. And Wonder Woman was really good, so I'm hoping Aquaman is good. And I hope The Flash is good. The Sacred Games reviewer was an Indian. Now, let me know, Josh and you guys. I've heard this many times. I don't know if it's actually true. That many Indian reviewers are not that great. Like, I've heard from some people that many of them are, like, kind of paid by the studios to give good reviews. I've heard that some people just hate everything. And I haven't heard, I don't know of any Indian reviewers though, so I can't say for myself, just what people have told me. But saw this video where the dude explained how every Marvel movie except Civil War and Infinity War is the exact same movie. Yeah. Yeah, and Ant-Man and the Wasp is basically, or not Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man is basically Iron Man. Like, they're written very similar. It's the smaller things that are in the films that set them apart. But I would agree, a lot of the story tropes are the same for a lot of the movies. Some Tamil reviewers attack the actors and directors personally if they don't like a film. Oh, well, that's not a reviewer. If you're attacking an actor or a director personally, it means that you're not actually a reviewer. You're fanboying over someone else and then you take it too personally. That's not an actual reviewer. That's a troll. Yashvir, you should send me a link to that video. I'd like to check it out. Rotten Tomatoes is more accurate. They gauge out critic reviews. Yeah, the Rotten Tomatoes score for the critics side, I think, is a little bit better. The Rotten Tomatoes score on the public side is it can be manipulated, just like IMDb or any other kind of public-based rating system. When DC movies, when a Marvel movie comes out, there's a lot of DC fans that will go to Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb and just downvote, try and get as many people to downvote a movie just to make the score smaller. I mean, it's totally manipulated. So I don't pay attention to them. Thought the new Spider-Man was way better than Andrew Garfield. Yes, the new guy is better than all of them. But I do like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. I love Dr. Octopus. I thought they did a great job with him. And the storyline for Spider-Man 2 was much better. But I love the new guy. I thought I was physically incapable of binging a series. And then Sacred Games came out, hit you full force. You should also try and binge Breathe, because I thought that was a great show. I don't think it is to that extent, but I've noticed few guys get mad when another Indian cinema industry makes a better movie. Yeah, I mean, from my point of view, a reviewer needs to be unbiased. You need to go into any movie, regardless of language, regardless of actors, directors, whatever, no blinders, and review the movie as how it is. That's what I think a reviewer should do. A lot of people don't. Tobey Maguire was good. I think they're rewatchable. The first two are. I saw the third one once. I almost threw up in my mouth. It was so bad. And I've refused to watch it ever since. Tom Holland is going to be in the upcoming Uncharted movie. Do you think they'll get comic or video game movies right with that one? Every time we get a new video game movie, they're always like, this one is going to be, it's going to break the trend and be the first great comic or video game movie. And then they all just end up being okay. I liked Tomb Raider, but it had a lot of problems. Assassin's Creed was horrible on so many levels. If you ever watch my review of Assassin's Creed, I basically ranted on how bad it was. Mood in my house is super awkward because I'm going to college in a month. Mom is emotional and stuff. Your live stream is a relief, man. Oh, it's all good. Thank you. I'm glad that I could be a relief. And you know, that's mom's job to be emotional when her kid goes off to college. It's normal. So at least you have a loving mother. Ashwin! Phone was switched off, got notified late. All good. We're still in it. Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. Couldn't imagine it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if the story is good, the movie will be good. But if the story is not good and it's not done well, it's obviously not going to be a good movie. It has the potential to be good. Like most video game movies have the potential of being good. It's just a matter of whether or not they'll do it. There should be no language bias with movies. Indians should be happy we have two of the biggest industries in the world. Yeah, that's what I've always said is, from my point of view, all Indian movies are subtitles. So I don't care what language it's in. As long as it's a good movie, I'll like it. My dad is proud because I got into Northwestern. I still think someone effed up letting you in. Well, don't say anything. Just accept it and go learn. What are you going to be majoring in? He is very flexible. He's going to be a young Nathan Drake. Tom Holland is a good actor, so I think, I think he could pull it off. It's more about what kind of story are they going with. Did I like Uncharted 4? I didn't play it, but I've seen a lot of stuff on it, and it looked good. It's him in the early 20s. He could fit in the role quite fine. Yeah, I think so. If they're going that route, as long as they're making him the age, they're not trying to say that he's 30 or anything. Oh, that's cool, Yashvir. Good luck with that. Fortnite is cancer. I don't know. I don't play that one either, but, you know, it's very, very popular. But, you know, like any popular genre or popular game, it'll change. You know, PUBG was the most popular at one point, and it got overturned by Fortnite. So, when am I coming to India? When I have money and time. Right now I have no money and I don't have time. So, when those two come together and I have money and time at the same moment, that's when I'm going to go visit India. Stressed about going to Chicago after living in St. Louis. You'll be fine. Chicago's a nice city from what I understand. Can get really cold in the winters though. Pub developers are bad, they don't care about their players. Yeah, I've heard about that. I have heard about that. But it could be why they're failing. And then they tried to sue Fortnite and the whole crazy, stupid thing. Ashwin, do more movie reviews. Missing it. Yeah, I want to do movie reviews. I do. It's more of time. You know, if I was doing this full time, I would be doing like, well, no. If I was doing this full time, I wouldn't be like Jabby Kuwait, because I would be reviewing more movies than I would be doing trailer reactions. I would probably be still doing these live streams to do trailer reactions, but my main focus would be movie reviews. Avi, sold my crap notebook, bought a decent gaming PC. I'm probably not the best to suggest games. I'm not a huge gamer, so the stuff that I like to play are like, you know, every once in a while I get onto World of Warcraft because I played that when it first came out for 4 years, and so it's comfortable for me. Other than that, I don't play too many games. I don't even know what's out right now, to tell you the truth. Buy Witcher 3. I've seen stuff on Witcher 3. But even if I bought it, I'd probably play it for a day or two and then I wouldn't play it again. I get bored with games really fast, and then I have so many things to do with YouTube and work that I don't have the time to sit down and play a game for 6 hours. Jabby almost had a heart attack with 2 strikes in one day. Yeah. He also has a lot of connections, so he was able to get it resolved. I'm glad that they got that figured out. Am I married? No, I am single. Unattached. No lady. No lady in my life. React to Joe Rogan's podcast with Neil deGrasse Tyson. I've seen it. Actually, I've seen both of them. Or I saw 2 of the ones that Joe Rogan did with Neil deGrasse Tyson. I also really liked the ones that Joe Rogan did with Philip DeFranco. Those are really good too. Jabby is on top right now. Yeah, he's got almost 700,000 subs. That's a lot of subs. He's got almost 700,000 and I've got almost 17. But that's why he can do it full time and I can't. Alright, so this next one is another Mohanlal. This is a teaser for the Malayalam film Odiyan. Now I did do one of the teasers before, I think, but I don't remember much about it. And I'm sure it'll all flood back to me as soon as I start watching this one. But this is the latest teaser that came out last week. So let us check out Odiyan and see what they got for us. That's an interesting focal. Like, everything is out of focus and then diffused around the outside.
Alla, Odiyan Manikande, Odi Velagal, Kanda Todangamale.
I guess we're not going to get much of anything in this one either. Well, nothing. So, teaser didn't give us anything. I'm wondering why they did, like, they started out of focus and then they moved kind of in focus, but it's still out of focus, and then the outside is diffused. I don't quite understand that decision by the director. Now, it could just be something they did for the teaser to show that he's in the movie, but why is he out of focus? I don't understand it. I don't get that decision. I don't get that focal decision. And I don't think it was a mistake. I think it was done on purpose, but I don't know why. Like, it doesn't feel artistic. It feels kind of frustrating because I want them to I want them to focus the camera. I don't know. It didn't give us anything, so, you know, I'm probably not even going to cut this one out of the live stream to upload it because there was nothing there. So, moving on. What I would do to spend 30 minutes with Neil deGrasse Tyson? Yeah, I would love to have a sit-down conversation with him. It would be awesome. I have not seen Neil Tyson and Katy Perry interview. That sounds like it would be interesting, though. This one was a sneak peek. More will come. Please don't hesitate. Now, if there's a trailer, like, I'm not going to watch anything else on Odiyan unless they come out with a full trailer, because these teasers are not giving anything. It's really just fan service for Mohanlal's fans, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want to see something about the movie. So for me, it does nothing. So I would I need a full trailer. So when the full trailer comes out, you know, send me the link and let's do it on a live stream. But I'm not interested in any more teasers if this is all they're going to be giving us, because they're not giving us anything. Being in the same room as Katy Perry is an insult to the brilliance of Neil Tyson. Yashvir, yeah, Robot 2.0 has a release date, but I'm taking it with a grain of salt. I stopped following the movie and not really going to pay attention to it again until I get a full trailer with finished footage. So once I get a full trailer, that's when my hype will start. We'll see what happens, what they give us. But until then, I'm not following the movie right now. What's the difference between your feeling for Indian movies before starting this channel and now? That's actually a really good question. Thank you, Pangaj. My dad is a huge fan of Indian films. He's been watching Indian movies for probably close to 20 years. And so Indian movies have always kind of been around the house, you know, but it was really a thing that my dad was into. And I had seen a couple of movies with him, like Iga and, what was the name of that one? I can see the poster in my head. Anyway, you know, I've seen a few movies with him, and I liked them. And I watch non-English movies from time to time, so I might, you know, I would pick up a Spanish movie or an Indian movie or a Chinese movie, Japanese movie. But it wasn't until I saw the trailer for Bahubali when I got a request for it when I first started my channel I started my channel in October of 2015, and then I got a request to react to Bahubali in January of 2016. And then when I did that, I was amazed by the cinematography. It looked great. So I watched the movie and reviewed it. What I didn't know at the time was a lot of people were reacting to the trailer, but no one had watched the movie. So I was one of the first Americans that reacted to the trailer that actually watched the movie, and I reviewed it back in early 2016. And then I was reviewing like all of the stuff for Bahubali 2 that was coming out, and it was a huge thing. I think for me and for a lot of Americans, it's understanding the intricacies that go into Indian films. You know, there is a lot that you would need to unpack to understand it. Like, that there's more than one industry. You know, most Americans only know the term Bollywood. And every time I mention to somebody that I review Indian movies, that's what they say. Oh, you like Bollywood movies. And then I have to correct them and say, well, that's just the Hindi industry. There's also, you know, Tamil and Telugu, Malayalam and Kannada and Marathi and Bengali and all these others. And then you can see them kind of glaze over like, what is he talking about? And so I think the complexities that are around the Indian film industry can make it a little bit difficult for Americans to really get into unless they spend the time to research it, or if someone sits down and explains it to them. But I found it all interesting. It was new information I had not known before, and so once I find something that, you know, I didn't know much about, I like to research it, and then, you know, so I really like it. So before I didn't know much about it. Now I've learned a lot and I find it really interesting. And I think some of the best cinematographers are coming out of India. Like even really low budget Indian films have amazing cinematography. It's great. Hopefully the trailer will come out next month. Okay, cool. You want Robot 2 to suck so you can watch the world burn? I don't want it to suck, because if 2.0 sucks, that means they're not going to find investors for bigger budget movies for a long time. And I don't want that to happen. You know, I want the movie to be really good so that investors are not scared away from higher budgets. Understand why movies and web series target one religion like Sacred Games, PK, and Sanju. I don't know. I'm an atheist, so I understand religions, but I don't follow any of them. So for me, a religious aspect to a movie or a TV show is just a story plot point, but I have no emotional investment in the religion aspect. Painkaj. Is that how I say it? Painkaj? Or am I still pronouncing it wrong? I probably am. I don't pronounce things very well. I've never been to India, but Bollywood is life. Granted, my parents are Indian, but still. Fair enough. Yep, there are 20 plus film industries. I was just naming like the top 7. Why don't I have a sponsor button? I don't know. I mean, there's... Are you talking about Super Chat? I should have a Super Chat button. I don't know about sponsor buttons. I have a Patreon. Sponsor button. Oh, no, sponsor buttons are for gaming channels. So unless you're a gaming channel, you're not going to get a sponsor button. I'm not a gaming channel. I didn't like and I liked the first robot because it was a new concept for Indian cinema, but the graphics looked like a video game. Yeah, the thing about the first robot, I really liked Enteron because of the story. You know, I liked the idea of the robot that becomes sentient and then falls in love with its creator's girlfriend. I love that whole aspect of it. The CGI wasn't the best, but I wasn't really expecting it to be the best. So I knew going in that it wasn't going to be great CGI, but I wasn't going to fault the movie for that. I mean, if you look at movies made in the 1990s and early 2000s in the United States, the CGI looks horrible. It doesn't hold up, but the movies are still fun. So I'm not too worried about that. I think Enteron's CGI effects were as good as they could be for the budget and the time period that they did it. Now, if that movie came out today, then yeah, I would say, you know, if you don't have the money to do it, don't do it. Some channels like Noob from UA have that button. Oh, I don't. Let me see if it's something I can activate. It says I am currently not eligible for sponsorships. Learn more. Eligibility requirements. Oh, you got to be over 100,000 subscribers to be able to get the sponsorship button. You have to be in one of the available locations. Oh, United States is one of them. That's fine. But no, I have to be over 100,000 subscribers to be eligible for the sponsor button. So that's not going to happen. No sponsor button for me, but I've got a Patreon. What am I going to do with the company I registered? Well, thank you for asking, Amal. I created Koricon Productions for a couple of reasons. For one, I wanted to be able to copyright my logo. So that Koricon logo now has a little R next to it. I don't know if you can see it there. I like being able to put the little R. It's a registered trademark. No one can use it. Also, it's cool to be able to say I got Koricon Productions. But no, I want to get it more into some photography and videography. I've been doing some local things like, filming interviews for that nonprofit newspaper, which you could watch them if you want. It's at longmontobserver.org, which is our nonprofit local newspaper. I do some interviews there. I mean, they're not the best interviews. They're very simple, but it's with local business owners. And then I've been doing things like real estate seminars, just filming the seminar, or I want to kind of get into maybe using some of my realtor contacts to do things like real estate photos, you know, basically just things that I can get paid with my camera, things that I can do. I'm also wanting to film some things like short films and whatnot. It's really about finding a story that I want to do and then finding the time and the money to do it. Like, I have a production company but got no money, so whatever I do has got to be cheap. I am filming somewhat of a documentary right now. It's more of a vlog over a long period of time, tracking something, but that won't come out for a while, so I don't want to announce anything yet. PUBG sponsors players like Shroud, but very few players. Yeah, there's a lot of games that sponsor players. Use Streamlabs for donations. For donations, I have PayPal. You can just donate to PayPal. They have the Super Chat here on YouTube, which YouTube takes a cut. And then I have Patreon. So I don't really need another donation thing. You know, in the description of all my videos is the PayPal, the Patreon, and all of that other stuff. So anyone that wants to donate can do that there. But I don't really need another place where I could get donations. Shankar is not classic filmmaker. Well, I don't need him to be a classic filmmaker, per se. You know, you don't want everybody to direct movies exactly the same. I like people that are a bit different. At least he's trying stuff. Might be the only kid in America who loathes Hollywood productions but loves Bollywood. No, I'm sure there's others. Is your name really Koricon Nala? No. No, my name is Matt. Koricon is a Dungeons and Dragons character that I created when I was a kid, and then when the internet went public, I used it as my internet handle, and it just stayed with me throughout the years. And so when I made the channel, it just seemed natural that I would call it Koricon. Nala is my middle name spelled backwards. So all of my, my 2 YouTube channels and anything else I had planned in the future has 2 names. Koricon Nala for Indian movies. Koricon Nerd for American stuff. And then I had some other channels that I got names for, but I haven't done anything with because I don't know if I'll actually do anything with them. I just wanted the names. But my real name is Matt. People just call me Matt. Did you watch Sacred Games? I saw the first episode. I need to review it. I'm going to be reviewing each episode after I watch them before I see the others. Kind of like what I did with Breathe. I'm babysitting my niece, but my sis won't pay me. Well, then I guess eat as much of their food as possible and get your payment out of that. If you won't pay me money, at least you'll make me full. I would send you loads of super chats, but I have no money of my own. It's all good, man. All good. I want one suggests how now I am very difficult position. I don't understand what I do one option is do my parents. What said second option is do my favorite option. Do what's best for you, man. Do you, boo-boo. I like to say that. You always want to keep, you know, the opinions that and advice that you get from your parents, you want to take them seriously, but overall it is your decision. So you need to do what's best for you. It's your life. What are some big problems in America? The biggest is the fact that Trump is our president. A lot of our problems stem from him. Healthcare is one of them. Healthcare costs, not as much of insurance. It would be nice if we had, you know, universal healthcare, but if we tried to create universal healthcare with the way healthcare cost is right now, it would be unmanageable. So we have a lot of problems. Tons and tons of them. Well, your father probably had a good reason for voting for Trump, but, and I'm not going to say anything bad about your father. I just think Trump is horrible and the worst thing that could have ever happened to our country. And he misrepresents us. He gives me a bad name and I feel embarrassed. Okay, so this next one is interesting. It is called Karenjit Kaur, the untold story of Sunny Leone, which I don't know why it would be untold story. I've heard many people talk about her story. You know, she got her starts in pornography, then she got into some Indian movies, and now she's famous in India, but it could be an interesting series. I don't know. Possibility. I don't know what Z5 is. Is Z5 a TV station in India? Or is that an online thing? So let me know. But let's check out the untold story of Sunny Leone. You know, I think it would be, I mean, there isn't too much to analyze there technically. You know, it's filmed like a normal dramatic TV show. Nothing really out of the ordinary. The thing that there's a fly around here. What I think would be interesting is the family dynamic of what's going on, where what is it in her upbringing, and it's not her parents' fault or anything like that, but what happened along the way? What were the beats in her career that got her to the point of being in pornography, and then how did she get to, you know, Bollywood? That's what would be interesting. I would like to see how that all happened, but I'm a little worried that some of the dramatic elements are going to be overblown. So I'm not sure if it's something that I would be that interested. It might be something that I would watch if I had time and it was there. But it's not something that I'm going to go out of my way to check it out. And it looks like Z5 is an app that you can download. It's not a TV channel. So they just answered that for me. I'm not going to be doing any more reactions tonight, Pranav. It's 1 in the morning. I got to be awake soon anyway. I did a reaction to Goodachari earlier today. Do I think pornography should be made illegal? No. Pornography is actually very safe now. It wasn't in the past, but what people do with their bodies is their decision. I should not have a say in it. I don't really care if they do porn or not. I see nothing wrong with it. I think like the racist America narrative is really overblown. I've been living in a little town in Missouri for 17 years. I've never seen a bigot in my life. I've seen many bigots, but I don't think America is racist. I think there are racists in America, but there's a big difference. In India, people believe there is no difference between roadside prostitute and a porn star. She replies, one comment is guts. Yeah, the line is okay. I mean, she is showing that she's courageously having this interview with the guy. There is a huge difference between prostitution and porn, but you know, if prostitution was legal, it would be just as safe. What makes prostitution bad is it's not regulated, and there's a lot of, you can get STDs, you can get killed. There's a lot of bad things around prostitution. Porn is very safe. Maybe no one's been a bigot to me because I'm a kid. No, that's not a reason. Bigots are bigots to anybody, no matter what age they are. You just may live in a town that doesn't have very many outspoken racists, or maybe there's no racists in your town. But I've seen a lot of racism. I've had a lot of friends of many different races that I end up seeing racism through their eyes. I personally don't see racism towards me because I'm a big white guy, but I do get a lot of hate for being a big guy. So I understand racism just from a different point of view. Should a society be conservative? Should there be any limits in liberty? I think laws should be in place to protect the people. I do not think religion should be involved in law whatsoever. So I think a person's choice to be liberal or conservative is up to them, but the law should not regulate that. So I think the laws should be in place just to protect people. You know, like don't kill, don't steal. You know, if you get into a car accident and it's your fault, then you have to pay the price for it. But someone's religious beliefs should have no impact on someone that does not believe in that religion. Do not regulate religion on someone like me that's an atheist. I don't want someone else's religion regulated on me just because they don't agree with me. Yeah, I'm going to do another live stream, Pranav, so when I announce that one, we'll be getting, you know, requests in. So, you know, you follow me on all the stuff, so make sure to put that in when I get requests for the next live stream. In India, we mix racism and insults. I have heard that. I'm sure we do that as well here, just differently. I've been body shamed, but then I'm a linebacker. I tell shamers, they go, oh. There's a lot of racism in the past. So grandparents, like, there's a lot of people on my mom's side of the family that are bigots, but I disowned all of them, so I don't talk to them. And whenever people get into the talk of religion, where one religion is better than the other, or you know, this group are terrorists and this group isn't. There's good and bad people in every religion. What are some stereotypes Americans have about India? Arranged marriage. That's a stereotype that I guess Americans would have, where they think everybody is married off, like forced into a marriage. The caste system, that there's a lot of people that are forced to be poor. I don't know. I don't really get into stereotypes, so I'd have to ask people what do they think. I make my own decision. I don't really care what other people tell me. So if someone said, all India is this, I'd be like, huh, haven't heard that one. Snake charmers, I have heard that. Snake charmers before. Vegetarians, I don't know if Americans would think, I don't think Americans know that vegetarianism is popular in India. But they do talk about like that cows are sacred because it's a bit odd to us. Because we eat cows. So it's totally different, you know. Where's my little lion? He's asleep at my feet right now. We shake a head when we talk. Oh yeah, that. I don't know if that would be a stereotype. What is that fly? Curry. Yeah, curry is a... would that be considered a stereotype or just, you know, a food preference? So does that mean that, you know, fish is a stereotype in Japan? I would die without a quarter pounder from time to time. I like burgers. I haven't had meat in a few weeks though, because I'm on this diet, but I do love a good burger. Unsafe for women? No. I don't think that would be a stereotype, because I know a lot of women that want to go to India. Cat meat? No, I haven't heard that one either. You know, when we think about countries that eat what we would consider a pet, it would be Korea with dog. Whenever we talk about like eating cats and dogs, it's usually a not in serious. Here we think all Americans are rich and have sex all the time. Well, I'm American and I'm broke and I don't have sex all the time. So I'm the total opposite of what you guys think. I think India is the most dangerous country in the world. Give by Thomas Pohl, serve done by 485 foreigners. I don't think India is a dangerous country. To me, a dangerous country would be like, you know, anywhere where the terrorists that want to kill us would be. I would not want to go to some of those Middle Eastern countries, but that's because they would kill me. To me, that would be the most dangerous country. I don't see India as a dangerous country. I don't know what Thomas the Reuter... Oh, you mean the News Foundation? I don't see why it would be dangerous for women. The most dangerous country for women would probably be like... one of those Middle Eastern countries. I wouldn't really say Iraq anymore, but maybe... Afghanistan probably would be the most dangerous for women right now. Eating things that's alive for Chinese. Yeah, like the whole squids, the little squids. Do I like Russia? I like Russian people. I don't like the Russian government. When is the Jigartanda movie review? It's going to be after dawn. Yeah. The old movie reviews, they don't take precedence. It's the new stuff that does, and I don't have a lot of time. So I do the best I can. Raul, 2.0 official date. Yeah, but I'm not taking it with a grain of salt. Putin, no. Apu and Raj from Big Bang Theory ruined you. I could see Apu, but Raj, he seems to be a very smart dude. I don't know. Said society should not be conservative, but don't you think unconservative things done by some people can affect others negatively, like pornography or prostitution? I think if they're not regulated, they can have negative aspects. Look at, like, take sex out of it. Look at marijuana. When you look at marijuana, the fact that it was illegal caused more damage to society than having it legal. When you make something illegal, what you do is you force people to go to the black market or go to a bad place to acquire it. So making prostitution or pornography illegal is just going to make it more dangerous to acquire it. And people are going to acquire it. You're not going to stop people that are interested in that from getting it. All you're going to do is make it more dangerous to get it. And then that's going to have a higher negative impact on society than if it was legal. For someone that doesn't like pornography or prostitution, they just don't have to be involved with it. It's not going to affect them at all unless they actively go seeking it. Just like marijuana. If they don't want to smoke it, then don't smoke it. It doesn't negatively affect somebody directly, like murdering them or stealing from them or hitting them in the face. That's a direct negative impact. France versus Croatia. Who will win the cup? Well, statistically, it would probably be France, but I'm going for Croatia because I love underdog stories, and no one expected them to get this far, especially when they beat England. No one was expecting them to beat England. So I want them to win the whole thing because I think it would be awesome that this team came out of nowhere and won the whole thing. It would be like a sports movie in the making. You don't like soccer? That's fine. There's a lot of people that don't like it. There's a lot of people that love it. I think sports, sports, just like movies, people have their you know, they have their favorite things. They have stuff that they're attracted to. Some people love romance movies. Some people love action movies. Some people like one sport over another. It's really about preference. That's why there's so many different kinds of sports, is because, like, I don't like basketball, but basketball is a good sport. I'm just not a fan of it. But there's nothing wrong with it. Robot movie story content is taken from Canada movie. Didn't know that. Sweden is becoming very progressive there, creating a whole generation of non-smokers, non-drinkers, and against illegal drugs, all without enforcing anything, fully organic. Yeah, I mean, if it's something that is society, that's not a societal norm, but there's still people in Sweden that smoke, that want to do illegal drugs and drink. You're not going to have a society larger than 300 people that is perfect. It's impossible. The ultimate kind of utopia government would be no government. It would be a truly communist group, which is why, not communist as in Russia and China. That's something totally different. True communism is no money. There's no monetary value to anything. Everybody does their job and they share everything together. It's a true utopia. But you can't have that with more than 300 people. I think the last study I heard about it was when you get over 300 people, then you have people that won't pull their own weight, and then it starts to crumble and you have to add monetary values. So I think I missed a couple of those comments. And they're going kind of fast now. Oh my gosh. I think most Western countries drink a lot. Probably. I find Daniel Day-Lewis overrated in the sense that other actors can give performances just as strong and without the pretentious prep he does. I don't think he's overrated. I do think that he goes about his performances in an odd way. But he makes good movies. Not anymore. He retired. My place is famous for marijuana. Yeah. Colorado is famous because it was the first, well, Colorado and Washington State were the first states to legalize recreational marijuana. And Colorado, you know, were very successful with it. So all of the other states are looking at my state to see how it should be done. Prohibition was a good plan, but it isn't relevant now. Well, prohibition really is not relevant, or it's really not relevant at any time. They tried to do the same thing with alcohol and it backfired greatly. Whenever you make something illegal, you create crime. I'm not saying everything should be legal, but I am saying that making things illegal that really don't need to be illegal, that should just be regulated, creates more crime than it stops. Red, no, I don't. Have I ever done marijuana? I did once when I was 17. I didn't see the big deal, so I don't. What is the benefit of smoking weed? There really isn't. Well, no, I take that back. So for some people with pain mitigation, smoking weed helps them with their pain mitigation. However, you can get the same effect without smoking it. They have part of the marijuana plant is called the CBC, which is really what mitigates pain. You don't need the THC, which is what gets people that kind of high feeling. So you can take the CBC oil out of the marijuana plant and use that for pain. The THC, it's just kind of like drinking, gives you the same kind of effect in, you know, making your brain a bit fuzzy, but it's not harmful. I didn't mean overrated as a bad actor. He's great, just not as special as some believe. Well, the thing is, like, many actors, you know, it's their living. And so they take a lot of acting jobs. Some of them work out, some of them don't. It's rare to have an actor that is so picky with their scripts. And so he has more good movies than bad movies. I would arguably say he doesn't have a bad movie. He just has movies that are okay and then movies that are really good. So if he is in a movie, it usually means the script is good and you have a high chance of it being a good movie. You have a higher chance of it being a good movie. But the same what you could say is with Joaquin Phoenix, except he doesn't have all of the same baggage that Daniel Day-Lewis would have. How is porn stars seen in society? Most of them are looked down upon, which I'm against. I don't think anybody should look down upon. I don't know why that word would be associated with males only. I don't think it is. Weed should be legalized in India too. It's not a big deal. Well, that's up to you guys. I don't think it's a big deal, but I don't really know. You know, I'm not sure what. I mean, is weed even a thing in India? Do people smoke it? Well, guys, I need to end the stream. We've been going on for like 3 hours. I need to get a little something to eat before I go to bed. But thank you guys for joining me on the live stream. And look in the description of all of my videos. I've got links to everything. If you've got a question of where you can find me and all of this stuff, it's going to be down there, so you should check it out. And yeah, thank you for sticking around. Sorry I couldn't answer more questions, but I have to wake up in the morning, and it's 1 in the morning right now, so thank you for hanging out, guys, and I promise to try and do a live stream again as soon as possible. And then we can get some more trailers going and more discussion. But thank you for the awesome discussions, especially in the past hour. It's been a great back and forth. I love that kind of discussion. So bring that next time, and stay tuned on all of my social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, because whenever I do a live stream, I post it on there that I will be doing it that day. So have a good day, everybody. Thank you for sticking around, and how about like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends, and I will see you on the next video.